Hey, what's up everyone? This is going to be part 6 of the question and answer videos. You guys sent in way more questions than I even realized. I'm still only halfway through with that very first initial video where I asked for the questions and the vlog topics. So we're just going to keep going, and every time I put out a new question and answer video, you guys give me a whole new list of questions. So this is going to be probably an indefinite series. It's just going to keep going and going and going, which is okay because I don't mind answering your questions. So if you have them, keep posting them in the comment section in each Q&A video. Please do not post them in Twitter or on Facebook because that's a lot harder for me to go through. So just post them in the comment section on YouTube for each Q&A video and I'll answer them, hopefully. Alright, so let's get started. Here's a question from Justin English, and he wants to know, who's your favorite YouTuber that doesn't review toys? Well, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube videos, to be completely honest. I just don't have time because I'm usually shooting my own videos or working. But I'm going to go ahead and say Team 4-Star. I like their videos a lot. I do like the Raging Ronin review. I think that's what it's called. I don't remember what it's called anymore, but Alex Yu talks about movies and stuff, mostly Transformer stuff, so that's a good channel also. Sergio Ruiz asks if I can make a fast video of me making a custom figure. No, the painting's probably going to be it, at least for now, just because the sculpting aspect and the building aspect just takes way too much, well, there's way too much tedium, way too much back and forth between sanding and sculpting and gluing, and it's just not it's not conducive for a good video, so that's probably not going to happen. I've already answered that question. So we're going to start getting through to a lot where there's a lot of duplicates. So if it gets to be too bogged down, I'll edit it out. But I'm going to try to keep these mostly edit free because that takes up a ton of time. But we'll do what we can. Captain Idiot says he would like a video about the origins of Anthony's Customs. Well, these videos pretty much cover that, so I don't think that's going to happen. A lot of people are asking what got me into customizing. Check back to the other Q&A videos and you will find your answer. Bradley Stack wants to know if I read comics. If so, which do I like? I don't really. I don't have time, and they don't hold my attention as well as I would like them to. I prefer to read actual books, like 400-page books, because they're so much more descriptive, obviously. And they don't have pictures, but they paint a better picture in my head than looking at the still pictures in comic books. It just doesn't work for me that well, so I don't care for comic books too much. And I don't like the fact that it's segmented. You have to wait for them, or you have to go back and buy the, I guess they're called trades, once they're bound on a hardcover, which is alright, but it just doesn't really work for me. What are your favorite pop culture interests? Games, movies, characters, etc.? Well, I do play video games, not a ton anymore, but mostly Halo. I play the Batman games. I like first-person shooters a lot, and I like adventure games as long as they have good, solid combat type things. As long as it's a tight, really well-made game, I'll give it a shot. I have gotten into more of the like arcade-style games just to play with friends, so that's fun. That's about it for video games. As far as movies, I love movies. I watch tons and tons and tons of movies on Netflix, and I don't go to see too many movies when they first come out just because it costs so much, and so many movies these days are disappointments. But I do watch a lot of movies. So movies and games, not too much music, and I like to read occasionally. Mostly just Halo books. Those are my top books to read because I like sci-fi, and I like military, and I like Halo. So those work out very well. That'll do for that person. Alex Tellez wants to know what age I got into collecting. Well, when I was young, I told you guys before, I got figures as a kid. But when I actually started collecting, like seriously collecting, where I was choosing what I wanted based on whatever criteria I had at the time, that was around probably 19 or 20, something like that. Well, that's not true. There's a big gap in between. So 19 and 20 is when I started up again, and then earlier it was around 14 when I bought stuff whenever I could, but obviously I didn't have that much money then. Cartoon X22X. This is a fairly regular viewer of mine, so we'll try to get this question answered. What characters/universe would you like Figma or Figure Arts to make? For example, Marvel, Halo, etc. And which character would you want first from that line? I know Figma is doing Avengers. Well, we don't know Figma's doing Avengers. We know they said they were, and they showed some prototypes, but I think that was 2 years ago now, so I'm not sure that's going to happen. And with the recent announcement of SH Figure Arts doing Mario, that's one of the big ones I would have said, so that's a big check on the list. I wouldn't mind seeing Halo in a smaller format import figure, but we already have a pretty wide variety of Halo figures out, so I'm not too worried about that. I don't need any more Marvel figures. Whatever we're getting from the import companies already is fine. We already have more than enough through the Legends. I'm okay with that. DC, we already have the Play Arts, so I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing that really comes to mind offhand. I wouldn't mind seeing some good smaller scale Mass Effect figures, but that's not a big one for me. So I guess that's pretty much it. Nothing too big on the horizon that's not already planned. Question: if you could only save 10 of your figures, which ones would they be? So basically my top 10 figures of all time. This is from Light EDE or Light Eddie or Edie. 10 figures of all time. Figma Link, Figma Samus, Play Arts Master Chief, Play Arts Blue Spartan Warrior, Robot Damashi Extreme Gundam with the add-on kit. That's 5. That's tough to come through 10 perfect 10 figures I would really want. DC SH Batman, blue and gray Batman. Probably the Play Arts blue and gray Batman. I need 3 more. This is tough. I'd do hopefully the 18-inch Master Chief when it comes out, but I don't have that yet, so I'll just say the McFarlane Halo 4 Master Chief with Cortana, and I'd save the Halo 3 Cortana. Well, yeah, probably Halo 3 Cortana that lights up. Oh crap, I lost count. I don't know if I was supposed to do that or not. I pulled it back. I might have 9, I might have 11. And then the last one, let's just say SDCC Piccolo, just because I like that figure a whole lot. There you go. Alright, Weiss wants to know my favorite Halo figure. Let's say not counting the Play Arts because I already talked about that one a few times. I'm gonna say I really like the Halo 3 Steel Hayabusa. I like that one a lot. But I like a lot of the Halo 3 figures, so that's hard to say. I like a lot of the Reach ones too, so it's tough. Hard to pick just one out of a whole bunch. Don't need that, don't need that. Alright, Harrison Bourne wants to know what toy make is the easiest to collect. I think he means like which brand or which line of toys. And I'm not sure what he means by easiest because of course money factors in, quality factors in. For me, assuming we're not talking about money, the easiest line to collect is the small scale imports from Bandai. They, even though they do cost a little bit more, they keep you coming back because of the quality, because of the fan service, because they really put effort into what they're making. It's easy to want to buy those figures. And he asked which is the most rewarding, so that one, that's the same answer. The Bandai small scale imports is the way to go, I think. Currently, that's my take on it right now. Alright, here's a good one. Cafe Holic J. The first part of the question is, do you have a bucket list for your collection? Meaning, are there any like holy grails, as some people call it, for the collection? There are a couple. Right now, I'm really looking into finding for a good price the Human Alliance Soundwave figure from Dark of the Moon. I really want one of those. I need the Takara X9 Ravage from Beast Wars. So those are two Transformers figures I really want. I would really love to have one of the gold Masterpiece Optimus Primes, but those I know are pretty much impossible to get. So that's on the bucket list, but I don't count on that ever happening. And I would really like to have any of the Marvel Legends that are on the impossible to find scale, like the Black Psylocke or Blue Wasp. But again, those are pretty much not going to happen, so I don't even worry about it too much. I would like to have the light blue suit Superman. That's a prototype that never really got made for DCUC. But again, that's another one of those that's probably not going to happen. So in terms of realistic figures, it's probably those two Transformers and the gold Optimus Prime, but that's, like I said, probably not going to happen. And that the other part of the question I answered, so that's good. Surfing the Highway wants to know what my favorite figures were, or toys were as a child. That would be the Toy Biz X-Men / Marvel figures, for sure, without a doubt. He also, or she also asked another question, but I've already answered that, so I don't need to. Alright, here's a good question from WeDan13. He's a pretty regular viewer, so I'm happy to answer this question. I'll just read it out so I don't have to try to paraphrase it. Anthony, I love your videos, and I have a question for you about customizing figures. What do you enjoy most about it? Is the ability to create? Or what is your motivation? So he's asking why I make figures, basically, what I like about it. I love creating stuff. I don't know what it is. I love to cook, I love to draw, I love to, even in Photoshop, make things, and I love to make figures. So the idea of making something out of either something that wasn't valuable, especially when I can turn figure parts into something that somebody wants, I just love that. I really enjoy making something. And some people don't do the whole commission thing. They just can't do it. They only do them for themselves. For me, I love the fact that I can make figures for other people. Like, for example, the Mr. Freeze figure. That customer couldn't have been happier that I made that figure for him and completed his Batman Rogues. So the combination of me creating stuff and then giving somebody something that they wanted or that they couldn't get otherwise, that's a big draw for me. Let's do one more question for this video, and then we will call it a wrap on this edition, which I think is, I said, part 6, losing track. Okay, the Fallen Bee. Let's see what this question is. For the most part, do you regularly watch play the theme of figures? The theme of figures, for example, playing Halo. Sorry, struggled to word this. Yes, you did struggle, but I will try. And I think you're asking if I play video games that are related to the figures I collect. And no, it's the other way around. I collect the figures based on, at least in terms of video games, based on the games I like. So it starts with the game and then goes to the figure. So hopefully that answered your question. If not, try to reword it and I'll try to answer again. Alright, that'll do it for part 6. Stay tuned for part 7, and we're just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep numbering them, and we're going to just answer all your questions from now until however long it takes. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.